Nigeria's whistleblowing policy put in place 2 months ago is already yielding positive results for the Nigerian government. Over $180 million of suspected stolen public funds have so far been recovered by the government. The recent one being a stash of $9.8 million in the home of former NNPC Group Managing Director, Andrew Yakubu. While many are hopeful that this new policy will lead to recovery of more stolen public funds, there are concerns among Nigerians that without a Whistleblower Protection Act, the safety of whistleblowers cannot be guaranteed.
The federal government of Nigeria has started making huge discoveries just 2 months after it announced the new whistleblower policy, which basically provides cash reward for whistleblowers. Despite the recovery of over $118 million from various corrupt individuals, the safety of whistleblowers remains a huge concern. Nigerians do not yet have a Whistleblower Protection Act, but just a policy that encourages whistleblowing.
Any government that is serious about tackling corruption must go ahead and make adequate provision for those who are giving out information as to people who are involved in corrupt practices. And one of them is to make sure that the life of that person who has given out information is protected. He must also ensure that he does not in any way suffer by giving out that information. So he shouldn't suffer any discrepancy, he should not suffer any inconvenience, he should not suffer any injury to himself and to his body or to his family members for coming out to help the state to recover, stolen money. So the state must be serious in this fight against corruption by making sure that those things we are talking about are actually provided and provided very fast in the law.
Without a whistleblower protection law in place, prospective whistleblowers with useful information may not want to speak up due to fear for their safety. This Barrister Janaku says could lead to the failure of the policy.
Now we are saying, should I not be protected even from the person I'm reporting to? Can I make my identity hidden? The act is to ensure that the moment you give your information, the agencies or the parasites or departments necessary for investigation will quickly go into action, swing into action, recover if need be, or ensure that there is no movement of what has been seen. Then secure that person who has whistleblown into safe custody, so that whoever has so much money who could go after him will not be able to find him. His identity will be kept secret. That is why, as a matter of necessity, you must have the Whistleblowers Act following the Whistleblowers Protection Act following the Whistleblowers Act. In fact, the Whistleblowers Protection Act ought to be enforced before the Whistleblowers Act itself.
The passage of the Whistleblowers Law would not only ensure the safety of the whistleblower, but the continuous existence of the whistleblower policy, even after the present administration leaves office.
I believe that if it is enacted into law, even in if any subsequent government comes in, the only thing they can do is to amend, probably to reflect their own policy. An amendment will not be too fatal against the interests of fighting corruption, because we'll be watching, Nigerians will be watching to see the kind of amendment. But that's why we are insisting that this must be passed into law, because it is only when it's passed into law you can be really assured of the permanent status of that law, that is permanent. But if it is only ordinary government policy, another government comes in tomorrow, it can change it because it's not enacted into law. So it is important that we insist that this particular policy, that is very commendable, that will actually go a long way in fighting corruption and recovering almost most of the things that have been stolen.
The policy's objective is to increase exposure of financial crimes while supporting the fight against corruption. The government has been urged to speed up the passage of the Protection Act to encourage more Nigerians while they judiciously use the recovered public funds to finance Nigeria's infrastructure deficits. Endurance Alonge, TV 360, Lagos.